Okay, my name is Nancy Lewis. I'm a marriage and family therapist in California. I've been licensed for more than 30 years. I came to my interest in divorce work because I worked as a custody mediator and evaluator in for county and state government for several years. And I saw the way that divorce could not only tear apart the adults in the situation, but also tear apart children. So my goal has always been to help people divorce with respect and to divorce without harming their children in the process. If your partner is physically violent with you, it's important to call the police. If you can't call the police, contact your local battered women's shelter. You want to be able to leave your situation in a way that's safe. And that can be difficult because victims of domestic violence are often isolated by their partners, isolated from job, friends, family, any kind of support. And because of that, victims of domestic violence often feel like there's no place for them to go. But battered women's shelters can provide temporary housing and support, often go to police and court situations with a woman. It's also important to have therapy, either individual therapy or group therapy, to deal with the feelings of shame around victimization, the feelings that whatever has happened to you may become your fault. It's not your fault. You're a victim here. If you have children, you need to take care of your children as well. Let their school teachers know what's going on. Let the principal know what's going on. Involve people. Threats such as that one are merely statements of intimidation. The truth is that your partner can do or say whatever he wants to, but it doesn't mean that's the truth. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. And though it's really hard, you need to learn not to react to that kind of statement. You need to learn not to respond at all. If you are a good parent, if you are the parent who is taking care of your children, your partner cannot take your children away from you. You know, it's something that takes time. It really takes time, and that's why I recommend therapy. There are so many negative feelings and beliefs around physical violence, feelings of shame and blame and second guessing and questioning. It's not your fault. And you need to understand that it's not your fault. You need to learn that you can take care of yourself. You can leave situations that aren't good for you. And then men who batter you or violent men who batter you physically or emotionally are not your friend. They don't love you. They want to control you. They want to manipulate you. Well, again, counseling is important. Emotional abuse can be more difficult to recover from than physical abuse because it's evasive. Bruises fade. Scars made by emotional damage go much deeper. Learning to listen for words and be aware of physical cues, such as tightening of the jaw, tensing up of the shoulders, that can help you be aware when emotional abuse is coming your way. You can learn to leave those situations. Learning to love yourself and care about yourself and forgive yourself, that's the most important part. Partners often have their own sense of shame about their anger and their lack of control. However, they still may blame you for doing or saying something that will trigger the abuse. Initiating a discussion about what happens when alcohol is in the picture. Oh, I'm sorry, let me back up here. Physical, emotional, and verbal abuse can often be exacerbated by substance abuse, that is either drugs or alcohol. And initiating a discussion about what happens when alcohol is abused can often be a good place to start. If a partner is open to talking about their behavior, it means the relationship may be savable. But if the abusive partner is in denial, the best thing that you can do is to get therapy and support for yourself. Working on strengthening your ego is important. Then you are better able to respond rather than react to abusive remarks or other behaviors. And get therapy now. Most people, at least in America, can get therapy at little to no cost through their health insurance. Community health agencies often provide free therapy, as does the Veterans Administration and Medicare. Read books, read magazine articles, learn to understand triggers. People are often abusive because that's how they were treated when they were growing up, and you can learn to be different. Oh, there are many reasons for that. Again, people often become abusers because they were raised in an abusive relationship themselves. And many of the reasons don't even make sense. You fought back, you didn't back down. What started out as play became angry or hurtful. It wasn't a dynamic that you saw in your parents, or it was a dynamic that you saw in your parents, so you think that this is normal behavior. Physical abuse is unpermitted, unwelcome touch by another person. It can be once, it can be continual. Emotional abuse is the use of language and tone to demean or dismiss another person's feelings and opinions. Emotional abuse is generally a pattern. Financial abuse would be the manipulation or embezzlement of funds by means of subterfuge to control another person.